massive bonnet. This has to be the most insane car in Hamilton's garage. Huge. He crashed it driving it home from a night of heavy partying, allegedly. It's like using a Nokia brick phone every day. It's just impractical. Hey, my name is Andy, and today I'm going to be reacting to Lewis Hamilton's car collection. Let's go. So let's start with Lewis Hamilton's first car, which was a second-hand Mini Cooper he got in 2002 after he had just passed his driving test. Now, the irony was he was already in open-wheel racing, and this was 2002. In 2007, he would be racing for Mclaren in Formula One, only 5 years away, and here he is just passing his driving test and driving around in a used Mini. Now, it didn't take him very long to upgrade, and the second car he ever bought was a Ferrari 599 SA Aperta. Beautiful car with a 6-liter V12. Now, he bought this car when he started racing with McLaren. He started earning more money, and he thought, you know what, it's time to get rid of the Mini. Let's get into a 599. And I've actually done a video about the 599 being one of the best sounding cars of all time, and if you want to check that video out, you can click in the pop-out banner up here. That isn't the only Ferrari that Lewis Hamilton has. Lewis Hamilton has got himself a LaFerrari. The LaFerrari is one of Ferrari's all-time greatest cars with a KERS system, the most powerful V12 they had made up to that point, and it is basically Ferrari's Formula One technology on the road. He originally bought the LaFerrari, but then when the LaFerrari Aperta came out, the convertible, he bought that car as well, and both of these cars have since actually gone up in value, which is kind of ironic considering the amount of money he has. He has also got himself a Mclaren P1, which was McLaren's version of their Formula One technology. It also had a KERS system and a DRS system. Now bear in mind, both of these cars have close to 1,000 horsepower and a rear-wheel drive. So driving these cars in the wet is absolutely ridiculous, dangerous, and you're just asking for an accident. Lewis Hamilton also has a collection of classic cars, including a 1966 Shelby Cobra 427. That's right, he has an original, not a kit car, not a remake, Shelby Cobra. If anyone knows anything about the Shelby Cobra, you've got an amazing Ford V8 stuffed into a tiny AC body, and it's just a great all-around car. Definitely a classic, and it's absolutely appreciating in value. A 7-liter V8 in a car that small is just mental. The other classic car he's got is a 1967 Ford Shelby Cobra GT500, which I think he has now sold, but this car is in candy apple red with black racing stripes. Now, the funny thing is about Lewis Hamilton's GT500 is he bought the car and then immediately said it was a piece of junk. So unfortunately, he bought a lemon, and this is why it's important to do your research. Look, I mean, I know why he bought this car, because he probably saw Steve McQueen from Bullet or Gone in 60 Seconds or something like that, but these cars are just, they're vintage for a reason. It's the same reason you don't buy an old TV, because buying an old TV means you have to get up to change the channel, bang it when the signal doesn't work. Like, I kind of feel like it's the same with cars, and while they had a significant place in history, they're cool to collect as art pieces, but if you're trying to drive this thing every day, it's like using a Nokia brick phone every day. It's just impractical. Now, being a Mercedes Formula One factory racing driver, you'd think he'd have a large collection of Mercedes. He does, starting with his Mercedes AMG Gtr. Their flagship AMG line is known for its long bonnet, front engine, rear drive cars, and the AMG Gtr is one of the best ones I think they've ever made. Not only that, he's got a Mercedes Sls Amg in candy apple red with black accents. Now, this is his favorite color, and you'll see this color reoccurring throughout this list. He's got it on his Mercedes SLS, he's got it on his LaFerrari, he had it on his Mustang Cobra, which he has now sold. Now, he's also got himself a Mercedes Maybach S600. I hope to God he's got someone driving this, because why would you buy a Maybach S600 to drive yourself? To me, that doesn't really make much sense. The whole point of them actually is to sit in the back. You've got the reclining seats, the champagne chest, all of the great features that make up a Maybach, and driving this yourself would make no sense. Now, one of the most special Mercedes he has in his garage is a Mercedes G63 6x6. Now, when he went and bought this car, Mercedes had stopped producing the 6x6, but being a Formula One driver for Mercedes has its perks, and they actually reopened and recommissioned the factory for just him. The G-Wagon is truly a go-anywhere vehicle, especially this one. Now, another really rare and interesting Mercedes he's got is a Vision Mercedes Maybach 6. This car was a concept car that he then purchased for $300,000. Now, it's an all-electric car with 200 miles of range and 738 horsepower. It can go from 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds, and my only question with this car is, how are you supposed to see anything over that massive bonnet? It is so long, and the wheels are just huge. It looks like the tire was just painted on there. You've got these huge alloy wheels, tiny rubber, massive bonnet. The proportions are just wild.
That is a huge problem.
And it is something you can truly expect from a concept car, but I wonder if he's actually able to drive this car on the road or if it is just a piece of art. Either way, it's a really cool car, and it's something that you certainly don't see every day. Now, one of the coolest cars he has in his garage is the Pagani Zonda 760. Zonda 760 was a custom built car for Lewis Hamilton. He paid $1.4 million for this car. Now, $1.4 million is a lot, but my guess is it would have cost him quite a bit more after he crashed it driving it home from a night of heavy partying, allegedly. Lewis Hamilton has also gone on record to say that his Pagani Zonda is one of the worst handling cars he's ever driven. Now, I can kind of see how that would be the case, as he's a Formula One driver. He's used to really dialed in, really tight cars, and the Zonda is just a great piece of artwork with an amazing soundtrack, but I don't think handling was its #1 priority. Now, last but not least, he's got himself an Amg Project One. This car is kind of like the P1 and kind of like the LaFerrari, where they take the Formula One technology and put it in a road car. The 1.6 liter V6 turbo in the Amg Project One will produce around 1,200 horsepower. That's right, 1,200 horsepower from a 1.6 liter V6 turbo, and it revs to 11,000 RPM. That's bonkers, and it's actually limited to that, where the Formula One car revs to 15,000 RPM, but they had to limit it in the road-going version. Its 0 to 60 time, 2.2 seconds. This has to be the most insane car in Hamilton's garage. Can't wait for them to start delivering them in, I think, early, maybe mid 2021. So we'll see as those cars come out. This is probably my favorite car in his collection. This or the Pagani Zonda. I mean, the Zonda's like classic, iconic, and sounds incredible, but this Amg Project One it's pretty special. Anyway, what is your favorite car from his collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.